Persistence. Persistence is a quality that all salespeople need to have, because sales is a lot about the knockbacks, but it's more about how many times you get up, and you would have heard that so many times. Would have been just after I arrived in Australia to establish a turf seed division for Wrights and Seeds, as it was back then, or Wright Stevenson Seeds. I was driving around all the golf courses in Melbourne, and I remember driving into one golf course, and I won't mention the golf course's name, but I walked up to the superintendent, and he looked at me and he said, "Martin," he said, "I'm great mates with your competitor, and we have beer every Friday. And so, as you know, so we don't waste each other's time, I'm never going to be buying from you." Now, at that moment, it would have been easy for most people to walk out, tail between the legs. But I remember saying to this person, I remember saying to him, "Hey, look, thanks for the advice," and I won't mention his name, "but just so that you know, you've now become my project. So every time I drive past this golf course, every time I'm in your area, I'm going to pop in, and there'll be a point in the future where we'll be doing business together." And he dismissed me and he said, "Yeah, good luck with that." But I was true to my word. And so every time I was in the area, I would drive by. It was kind of my pet project, because no one tells me no, right? And I recall a date. I don't remember the date, but it was a Friday afternoon. It was raining. It was cold. I'd pulled into this golf club and I was sitting in the car park. And to get to the greenkeeper shed, you have to walk across the fairway. And I was thinking, oh, I remember getting out, getting back into the car. But I thought, you know what? I'm here. So I walked down to the greenkeeper shed and I said, "Where is," to the people in the greenkeeper shed, "where's such and such?" And they pointed, "He's down the back chopping wood." And I thought, oh, great. So I trudged down to the back of the golf club. Chainsaw was blaring, and he didn't hear me coming, but he looked up, and I was getting wet. It was raining, and he had a smile on his face. And he said, "This is going to cost me an order, isn't it?" I said, "You're dead bloody right it is." So he puts me on the back of his bike and we take off. Remember, it's wet. I'm on the back of his bike, so I've got muck and dirt flying up my back. And we get to the greenkeeper's shed, and he said, "Just come into my office." Now, these are back in the days before we had mobile phones. So he picks up the phone and he makes a phone call. And he said to, and I hear him saying, he said to his friend, again, I'll leave the name out. He said, "Such and such, just to let you know, Martin's here, and I'm giving him all my orders from this point forward, because even though we're friends and we catch up every Friday night, you don't call on me." Now, that was a really valuable lesson to me. Number one, not to take your clients don't take your clients' business for granted. But number two, persistence. I never would have got that business if I hadn't have persisted. If I'd have stopped at the first no, we wouldn't have done business together. And this particular person and I did business together probably for the next 6 or 7 years until he left the industry. Persistence is the key to sales.